Hi guys and welcome back. In this video we're going to be making this drain cover. Stick around. Okay, so before we start milling up any timber or anything, I like to do just a very quick pan so you can see on my highly detailed sketch here the measurements we've got. So we're 535mm wide. We'll make it just a bit wider than that, maybe 5mm wider than that, so we can allow for trimming in. And at our furthest point over here we're 727mm. So yeah, again we'll probably make that 5mm bigger than that, just to allow for scribing in, maybe 10mm, just to allow for scribing in, because this thing isn't perfectly square. The other measurements you can see on here are actually from tile level down to the drain cover, so it's a bit all over the place. So you can see why the tiler didn't want to take this on and why they want to go with this little mahogany lift out cover. So what I've done is I've laid out our width on here, 535mm. I've worked out that 6 slats will look the nicest, I think, with a 5mm gap between them. We don't want these tight because they'll expand and contract. I might narrow that down to maybe 4mm just so you can't see in there. But yeah, so there we go. We've got a permanent mark we can work to when we're laying out. Okay, so this is the timber of choice. We've got some sapele. I've got this board here and another board the same size over there. They're just offcuts from bigger boards, so should have more than enough timber for what we're making this for. Plus, this is about 40 odd mil at the moment, and we only need to make our tops 15mm thicknesses with some slats underneath it. So we should be able to get 2 comfortably out of here. So we've got more than enough timber for what we're making. So to start with, we're cut it to length, over length at the moment. I'm going to make it 750mm at the moment so we can reduce them down later on, just in case we make a mistake or something. We've got plenty of timber to work with that way, so that's the best thing. So we'll cut them to length and then we'll get on the table saw and we'll get everything ripped down. Okay, so we've got our pieces roughly to size. They're oversized at the moment, which is what we want, so we've got a little bit to play with. I need to resaw these down so I can get 2 out of these. These are at 40 at the minute. I only need 15mm, so we're going to resaw these down. But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to establish one flat face, so we're working off of something flat. So we'll go over to the planer thicknesser, stick them over the top of there, on the overhand, and get a decent face on them. Okay, so we're just about to do our last cut, but before I separate these, what I want to do is just number them, because I think it'd be really nice when we open these up on the top to do them as like book matched, so they're book matched next to each other. I think that would just be, you know, a nice little bit of attention to detail there. Should make it look a lot nicer. Okay, so now we've got everything milled up to what we want it to. They're still over length, but I've measured them out and they're actually the right length, so that's all good. Right width, sorry, I should say. I'd said about book matching, but these 2 pieces here should actually go together. But you can see the colours are completely different. So I'm going to orientate it this way. So we've got dark, light, dark. With the finish on, I think they should even out a little bit more, but then that's book matched, and then we've got the 2 outside pieces. I think that's the best way to go about it. Let me know in the comments if you would have done it a different way, or if you think I'm an idiot for doing it this way. but I think that's what's going to look nicest across this. So next step is we're going to cut these over length. We're not going to cut them right to length. And then we're going to put a little finger pull in so this can be removable. We're only going to do one, we're not going to do two, and we're not going to do a massive finger hole. This thing isn't going to be overly heavy, so just somewhere where you can put your finger in and pull it up enough to get your hand underneath it and then take it away. I'll probably clamp these two together, take it over to the drill press and then cut a hole out for that. And then we'll shape it. Okay, so we're just going to start marking out for our little finger pull. So I've got the two middle ones here. I've got them flushed up actually, let's get one of these ones out of the way. I'm going to flush them up. I'm going to get these clamped together just so they can't slide about. I'll do that way round, that'd be better, wouldn't it? That's it, there. And one on the other side, just for safe measure. So, nice and flushed up. We're going to go about 100 mil, just for our little cutout. That'll be centre of our finger pull, and we'll do about a 30 mil hole in there, just so you can get your finger in there to lift it up enough to get your hand underneath it. Okay, so now we've got all our pieces to this stage. I've given them a light rub down. They'll get another rub down afterwards, but I wanted to rub them down just to get these edges. You saw I put the 45s on these edges. Now I haven't done the end grain here because this thing is over length, so I need to scribe it in. So once I've cut it all to the right shape and it fits, I can just run the router down there to put that on. What we need to do is do a couple of cross pieces that are going to go underneath, just to hold all this together. And I want to make these 2 inches shorter than this, just in case there's any lips in there or anything. It'll be a little bit shorter. So 535 less 50 mil, 485. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, 485. So I'm going to get on, cut them. It's going to be the same process, so I won't show you that. I'm just going to cut them to length, put the 45s right way around these, and then we can come back and look at actually getting this thing together. Okay, so I've got the backs all shaped now, so they're ready to go on. What I've got is I've just cut out some of these little packing pieces here. Now these are 4 mil, so we can get all of these in if they're going to stay and behave themselves. Get all of these in, and these should just hold it out to the right size that we want. And what we can do is clamp all this together, position this, and then we're going to screw this onto the back of here with a little blob of glue, but we're only going to put the glue down the centre of these strips, so they can still expand and contract as they want. Right, okay, that was fiddly. But now we've got that all together, what we can do is actually come along and put our bottom strips in place where we want them. We have got a little bit of bow in here, so I'm actually going to get a third clamp in the middle just to try and counteract that, but we can't over clamp it because we haven't got a spacer in that middle. But it should help just to keep it a little bit flat. That's it, I've just nipped that up. I haven't put any pressure on there because I don't want to change that size. Let's check that actually. That's fine. Okay, so put this in place. I think we're going to do 100 mil. Put a little mark down there, just to make sure we're in the right place. Then check we're centralised. Should be 25 mil either side. 25. Touch off. There we go. So what we can do now is we can actually go through and put some screw holes in here where we want them. We'll keep them all nice and uniform. maybe do them on the pillar drill just so everything's nice and even, and then take it from there. Okay, so now time to get this together. So you can see I've marked out 2 lines here and my end lines. It's just so I don't over glue. I don't want to spill the glue further I need to. Like I said, I'm just going to put a bead of glue down the middle of each of these so they can still expand and contract, but I want it to be strong. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to screw it on. We've got some nice little screws here. Feels a shame not to be using brass screws in something like this, but it's the underside, so you're never even going to see it. So let's get some glue on, get some clamps on, and then get this fixed together. Okay, so there you have it all together. I'm going to leave it in clamps for now. I mean, theoretically, we don't need to leave it in the clamps. The clamps could come off because the screws are going to do the job, but I'm going to leave it in clamps for a little while now anyway. It's school run time, so go pick the little one up, and then when I come back, this would have had about half hour or so to set up, and then we can take it out of clamps, give it all a final clean up, and then look at getting some finish on it. Okay, so we're back out here after the school run, and we're back to it, and I have to confess I didn't pick up on saying, you guys were probably screaming at me the whole time, but I put this centre brace right away across our finger hole. So what I've done is I've gone back in there, I've re-drilled the hole through, cleaned it all up and shaped it and all that now, so now you can get your finger in there nicely. So, panic averted, we all make mistakes. I'm going to give this another quick sand up off camera. I'm not going to show you lot sanding because it's boring, isn't it? I don't really want to do it. You don't really want to see me doing it. And then we're going to get some varnish on here. So for the varnish, we've got a Rustin's Outdoor Clear Varnish. Quick drying satin one. So we're going to put that on there. I'd like to put an oil or something on here, but let's be honest, it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. So a nice outdoor varnish will protect it and keep it safe for a while. So I'm going to sand this up, but the next time you see me, we'll be putting some finish on this. Right, so that's the first side coated up. Just going to have a few more coats before it's done yet. And that will darken down, but we're going to turn it over. So I've got some blocks of pins here with some panel pins in. So we can flip this straight over. And it'll sit on them. we'll let that settle in, let that dry off, and then we'll give that a rub back and another coat, and then I'll do a final coat after it's fitted. But the next time you'll see me is when I'll actually be on site putting this in. There won't be a great deal to film because it's literally just sort of like dropping it in a hole, so I might just show you it when it's fitted. But yeah, nevertheless, you'll see me on site tomorrow. Cheers. There we have it, guys. That's it in situ. So you can see, if I take this out now, what I've done is I've built up a little framework inside over here, if you can see that. Little framework that goes right the way around, so that's going to support the weight and keep everything nice and level. And then that just drops in the hole. But with that, guys, I'm going to call this one done. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below. It really helps me get these videos not shown on YouTube. And if you want to see any more of this sort of content, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, be up to date with all of my videos. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Bye.